Okay, good morning Year 10. Welcome to this short feedback video. And we're looking at the work from week 2, specifically the exam question that I set you. I'm going to be going through that, showing you in a worked example and looking through how to answer that question. Okay, so let's look at the question first of all and work through the how to answer this. So this question said you will be assessed using good English, organising information clearly, and using specialist terms where appropriate. Okay. The question showed you a picture of the part of the carbon cycle. Okay, 4 parts: carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, green plants, animals, and microorganisms. And the question said, describe how living things are involved in the constant cycling of carbon. Okay. So we are interested in all the different processes that are taking place within this part of the carbon cycle. Okay, so I'm going to first of all, being a 6-mark question, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here thinking about those processes and thinking about the way, how those different parts of the carbon cycle that we have here, okay, are actually involved. So I'm going to start with the green plants. What do I know about green plants? Okay, well, and in terms of their involvement in the carbon cycle, I know they photosynthesize, which involves carbon. Okay. I also know that they respire. Okay, and respiration I know uses carbon, produces carbon dioxide, obviously. Okay, and I also know that they use carbon for kind of to make things too. So they make things like carbohydrates, for example. Okay. They're my green plants. What else do green plants do? Well, as well as respiring and photosynthesizing, they of course die, okay, and decay, as we already know. Now, what happens to them when they die? They're involved in decomposition. So let's take a look ourselves at microorganisms now. What do microorganisms do? Okay, well they are the things that decay or decompose or break down dead organisms. But microorganisms don't only do that, they also of course respire. Okay? So that's 2 parts of our carbon cycle. We haven't looked yet at animals. Okay, what do we know about animals? What do animals do? Well, animals respire, obviously. We know about respiration already. Okay. The animals also eat the plants. Okay. So we can see that involvement here already, and we know that lots of animals eat plants. Okay, and of course they die and decay. Now, all of those things have the potential to release carbon into the atmosphere, as it says here. Okay, so carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, we can see, comes from microorganisms. We've just said about that here. It comes from animals, and it comes from green plants. Okay, so all we need to do now is to use that information that we know, that we've collated, and put it into a convincing argument talking about some of these processes. Okay, now there are levels in this exam question. Okay, so for a level 1 answer, just change this slightly. For a level 1 answer, we would expect to be talking about one process. Okay, but only one organism. And that will give us 1 to 2 marks. for a level 2 answer, we're looking at more than one process. And organisms and the carbon compounds, okay, that are involved. And that's going to give us 3 to 4 marks. For a level 3 answer, we're looking at a little bit more detail. But we need more than one process, okay? We need the organism and the carbon compound. For one of them, and then for the other process we need either of these things, okay? And that's give us our 5 to 6 marks. And that's where I'm really interested, so we're going to think about that, okay? So let's have a go at writing our answer to this. Okay, here's my paper that I'm going to use to write on. So, reminder of the question first of all. Describe how living things are involved in the constant cycling of carbon. So I'm going to have a go at answering this question in my book, and I want you to use my model answer and the pointers that I've already given to be able to mark yours. Okay, so I'm going to say first of all that point 1, and remember I need to have my information organised clearly. I need to use good English. I don't need to write in full sentences, okay, but I do need to use specialist terms. So I'm going to say green plants carry out photosynthesis, which takes in carbon dioxide. They then use this carbon to make carbohydrates, proteins, fats, anything else that I want to mention there. Okay. Second point I want to make is that the green plants are eaten by animals and also release, you mustn't forget, they also release carbon dioxide through respiration. Okay. Animals also respire. Okay, so we've mentioned them as well, which release. I've said it, but I'm going to say it again. Releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And the third point I'm going to mention about plants and animals will die and decay or decompose, either of those terms, via microorganisms which feed on them. And my last point is that microorganisms organisms also respire, also carry out. I'm going to say carry out respiration, releasing CO2 into the atmosphere. Okay, now I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points, okay, but I've got all of the information that I need there for my 6-mark answer. I've covered how living things are involved in the constant cycling of carbon from that diagram, and I have used all of the information that I've taken from my notes. So what I'd like you to do is go and have a look at the answer that you've put together, mark it, okay. If you're not sure about anything, by all means let me know, but hopefully you should be able to give yourself a mark out of 6 for that answer.